We're talking Nintendo Direct. Game Informer lives. Netflix is against consoles for some reason, and Assassin's Creed is doing all right, and more. Hello and welcome to Super Gamecast. This is your podcast for video game and video game industry news. My name is Aaron Reynolds. Joining me is Bronson Fiore.
Hi. Duncan got really sick last night. So Duncan will not be joining us. We invited Cristiano Ronaldo to join us, but unfortunately he is also busy. It's just the way the world is right now. We'll get to that in a minute, though. He's getting into some fights apparently.
He's in the streets. We had to let him go. We don't want the legal trouble. Got to be honest.
No. Yeah, we're broke enough here.
The people who are fighting him don't seem like a litigious group, but you never know. You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
But hey, we didn't have a whole lot of news this week, except one real big news story that is just kind of what everyone's talking about. So why don't we just go ahead and head over to that? Let's
get into it.
Let's get into it. Nintendo Direct happened, and Nintendo announced a number of things. And we thought, let's go down the list here. I guess first off, Bronson, how did you feel overall about this Direct?
I was kind of weird. Like, I was just like, aren't you guys doing a Switch 2 announcement in like a week?
That's true, right? They're doing this at the same time as they are. It's not just that we officially know the Switch 2 is coming. It's that they're going to do a Direct about the Switch 2 very soon.
Like in literally a week. Like it is, or in case of when this goes live, in like 3 days.
Right.
So like 4 days. Like it's really weird.
Do we know the details of that? Like, are they going to be just covering the console itself, or games specifically on Switch 2?
We know nothing. They're just like more stuff. I know in this, like, there was a small thing about Switch 2 enhanced games. So that's a thing. So like there's a small print on the virtual game cards that they talked about in this particular thing says Switch 2 enhanced on some games.
Huh.
So maybe that means some games will get a frame rate boost, I guess, would be my assumption.
Right. Yeah. But that's, appreciated.
Yeah, no, look, man, if I can get 60 FPS or even 45 FPS to the Kingdom, I would be ecstatic.
Literally some of these games on the Switch 1, like, just stability. Let's just y'all are making huge ass games. Can we just everything hold together for a while longer?
Right.
So yeah, Switch 2 stuff, like news, is gonna come out soon. It's a little weird to be having this, but they have been working on Switch 1 stuff up to this point. So
and to be fair, similar to how we were seeing a lot of PS2 stuff well into PS3's life.
Right.
Like, I have a feeling it's going to be very similar with Switch 1, just because, there's 140 plus million Switches out in the wild.
Like, probably not until they see the numbers for Switch 2 get big enough that...
Yeah. We stopped seeing, like, regular PS2 games in, like, 2009, which was 3 years into the PS3's life.
Right.
So, I mean, you know,
it's they're expecting big numbers, and if they get those big numbers early, then I could see them making that switch a lot sooner. But we don't know. The people's wallets have been stretched in a number of ways. But these, when it comes to video games, these are also the same people who will buy The Last of Us 3 times. So, I don't know.
I also think it helps that Nintendo tends to be cheaper than the competition.
100%.
Like that you can get a Switch Lite for like $180 right now on sale.
Yeah.
If you really want to play Switch games that badly. So
yeah. Why don't we go ahead and start rolling down the list here? First thing they showed off was a Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake.
Yeah,
what did you think of this?
These games are exceptionally popular in Japan. they were kind of used to sell Nintendo Power in the United States. I
Okay.
believe the first Dragon Quest came free with a year subscription to Nintendo Power.
Huh.
So that was a thing. I want to say that was something that happened. I I don't have any attachment to Dragon Quest. It's not a franchise I'm personally super into,
Right.
but you know, that Dragon Quest 3 remake did really well last year. Like it blew out Square Enix's expectations. So I expect this to do something similar.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
They're gonna do good. You would think, anyway. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not much
I
to show, right? What is happening? I'm having some
yeah.
trouble playing some video over here on my end, so we're just gonna have
It
to go
might be
without.
your ad blocker,
It
but
might be
I'm
my
not
ad
sure.
blocker. Yeah,
They've been real dicks about that recently.
fun.
Yeah, and I actually think that like handhelds have become my preferred place to play most JRPGs, especially
Okay.
ones like this. So, 'cause, like, oh, I can grind for a little bit before bed. Put the Steam Deck or the Switch in its case and go about my business.
Yeah.
So yeah. What was the next one? Because I don't think we're getting footage of this one.
No, but I'm pulling up just the Nintendo Direct video itself, and that's just what we're gonna watch because
Oh yeah, that's probably easier.
that's a lot easier, and we can just, instead of having to look at whatever blurb they write on IGN, we can just get to it.
Um,
So we'll get some footage when we need to, but until then, we got No Sleep for Kaname Date from AI the Somnium
I
Files.
I don't know anything about what these games are. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Sure.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. Let me
I
see.
believe they are a visual novel.
Let me click
This is
over
where
here.
we needed Ninja.
I know a ninja here, or I think Duncan would have answers for us here.
Yeah. Also, I forgot one news story in the docket. Now that I look at it,
Oh, all right. Well, we can add that on at the end.
it was yeah. I'll tag it on when we get to it.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this looks cool for people who are into this kind of game. I believe this is an add-on for whatever that game was. AI
I
the
am
Somnium
just
Files.
I am just such not a visual novel person
Sure.
or a puzzle person, so this is completely lost on me. It's one of the few genres I don't gel with.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, it
Yeah,
looks cool for what it is, and if you're into this franchise, you got more, and that's great.
yeah.
So happy for them.
So
Here's the footage of Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake. I imagine many
yep.
people have already seen a lot of what's going on in the direct, but I think it looks neat.
It's good to have the visual. It's
Yeah.
good to have the visual. People like seeing it.
Yeah.
People like seeing it, and also, it makes the video time render longer, which is great.
Very good. What we want. This next game, my friend was really into. Raito Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army. So do you know anything about this?
No idea.
So
I'm
this
right.
was a franchise that people who are into what's it, SMT, Shigemi for some reason I'm forgetting how you say it.
Shin Megami Tensei.
Shin Megami
yes.
Tensei fans are really into this game. It came out on the PS2. This is like one of the more badass protagonists, I guess, that they have. And it's getting just this full on, they call it a remaster, but apparently just what they've done with it, like it's way more than a remaster. This is like basically a remake. And this is a really cool thing. They redid, this used to be a fixed camera angle for the combat. They now have it following you, so it should be better.
Yeah, I was gonna say this did look sick. Like I am an SMT fan, especially as they have gotten more. SMT always used to be a little bit too difficult for me, but in recent years they've kind of toned that down a bit. and those games have become playable for me. So I'm kind of actually super interested in this.
Yeah.
Like, like I was able to play Tokyo Mirage Sessions and not really have problems. I was able to play through SMT5 and not really have issues. So
very good. Yeah.
you know,
So those fans are really stoked about this inclusion. There's some stuff about how this character is going to be involved more. There have been discussions of this character being involved more. And for in a similar way to like Capcom has experienced major success and are now trying to spread that success and that momentum to other franchises. I feel like these guys have been capitalizing off Persona 5. They went into Shin Megami Tensei proper, and now they're getting into these franchises that the fans have been about for a while, but have not got the love yet. So
yeah, I feel like Sega saw the growth because Sega owns Atlas, and I feel like they saw the growth of Persona and they saw the growth of Yakuza, and are like, yeah, we can start spinning this out and other stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
why not? So I'm actually thrilled for them for getting that done. People who are fans, diehard fans, are big fans of that. So that's awesome. Oh my god. Okay, so this game, what is this called again? Shadow Labyrinth.
Darkness.
Still boggles my mind that this happened. I'm still, every time we load in, I'm like, you think about,
oh yes, the Pac-Man Dark Metroidvania.
Yeah. So I love that this game exists specifically because it makes me think people dream of getting their hands on a franchise to make their dream game about the thing that they love. And you see people make sequels and spin-offs and things, and they do cool stuff with it. This feels like a fan's idea of like, I could really do something with the idea of Pac-Man, and this is what they came up with.
See what I see here is like someone saw that Bomberman game for the 360, and we're like, what? And was just like, that was bad, but what if we did edgy Pac-Man, but good?
Yeah. But that's the thing, you can do the 360 Bomberman version of Pac-Man, and it's, I don't know if you remember that old graphic t-shirt, but it's a guy in a space outfit taking drugs and seeing ghosts, and it's like a horror game.
This just does look cool.
This looks really cool. Actually, I'm so interested in this way of using Pac-Man, and yeah, I don't know. I'm so intrigued, and they're including stuff that's like, well, see, this has nothing to do with Pac-Man, and that's what I kind of like about it. It's like you took this idea for Pac-Man, and now you're just going to do your own thing with it. I think that's so much fun. This will be fun.
And I'm a sucker for a Metroidvania game, so you know.
Right? Yes, it's a Metroidvania, Pac-Man stuff here and there, and then there's just like, yeah, the animations look cool. This just looks like a fun, interesting game. So looking forward to it.
The Pac-Man mech.
It's so ridiculous. Good. It is absolutely ridiculous. Good. And it eats stuff. Yeah. Yep. So
there has to be a point where they play that music. That
no, they do it, but yeah, it's orchestral. It's fucked up. It'll be really good.
It's the Dark Souls version of it.
Yeah. That'd be so good. So yeah, very weird. I love that it exists. Right. Hey, we were talking about this franchise a couple weeks ago. Good old Patapon.
Yeah, PlayStation's putting out some games on Nintendo now.
Yeah.
Yeah, these games are perfect on a handheld.
Right.
I highly recommend them to everyone who likes rhythm games. Patapon's great.
Yes, yeah.
Patapon is awesome. It's perfect on a portable. It was great on the PSP. It'll be right at home on the Switch. Like, yeah, no. Yo, dog, if y'all haven't played Patapon, you should play some fucking Patapon.
You should check it out. Yeah. I was not like the biggest Patapon fan. I was like, oh, this is charming and neat. And I think
and the little chants get stuck in your head.
Yes, very true. They're the simplest chants, and yet they'll be with you for a while. And it's definitely one of those things where, like, if you're looking to, you want your kid to have some games on the Switch, and you want to make sure they have good taste. This is a good one. Give this to your 8-year-old.
Yeah, give it to anyone who likes music and all.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's a good little rhythm strategy experience.
Yes, very much so.
Um,
The next game here is Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. Have you played Story of Seasons?
So it's basically Harvest Moon. The Harvest Moon people left that company to go make Story of Seasons, and it's basically Harvest Moon.
That's not
Like,
that sounds great.
I mean, yeah, like if you like Harvest Moon and you want different flavors of Harvest Moon, here you go. My issue here, of course, is the ultimate Harvest Moon game, Stardew Valley, is still popular and getting updates.
Yeah. This is.
I guess if you played Stardew Valley to death,
Yep.
like you're someone like my girlfriend who has like 300 hours in Stardew Valley already.
Yep.
Like, then this could be a great option for you.
And there is something to be said about this anime art style rather than the more retro look.
Sprite work.
Yep.
Yeah. No, there is. My favorite Harvest Moon is A Wonderful Life, which is the GameCube one.
Okay.
So I mean, like,
it looks cute.
I get it is cute. And I think these are also games that are great for handheld. So
yes, another great handheld game. So super cool. Happy for them for that. We move on to the big one here. This happened in the first half of the Direct. They revealed some Metroid 4.
Yeah, they had that small trailer last year, but then we get a bigger one, like a way bigger one.
So okay, you're a fan of Metroid.
I am. I like some Metroids.
How do you feel about what you see here?
Looks great.
Looks
like
okay.
It is exactly what I want from Prime.
Okay.
Big open worlds, exploration heavy, kind of eerie vibe going on. It like visually it looks amazing for a Switch game.
You're right. Yeah, this is also releasing on Switch 1, so
so like I hope the Switch 2 version, of course, gets some, improvements, but like, yeah, no, I think this looks great. I honestly think the hardest part for me is going to be playing a Metroid Prime game with free aim and no motion control.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I assume you'll have motion control as an option. The Switch has it.
The Joy-Cons do have it, so I guess they could add
and
that.
The Joy-Cons,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, this did look great. Like, it looked like exactly what I want out of Metroid. Like, I'm curious what they're doing from a lore perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know where in the timeline of Metroid they're putting this. So that's like one of kind of my first questions.
This is not a franchise that goes just straight forward.
No, it is not. They jump around.
Hmm.
So like the 2D ones tend to be kind of a straight line, but Prime is kind of in the middle of the 2D ones.
Oh, interesting.
So like I'm kind of curious where in that timeline this is. Like, it's obviously after Metroid Prime 3, so it's like, all right, well.
Okay.
Yeah, like, this stuff looks cool. This stuff looks great.
Yeah.
This stuff looks really sick.
I don't know what else there is to really say at this point. It seems like they're creating the Metroid Prime experience, and it's a modern rendition of it, so.
Yeah, like, visually it looks good. I think those puzzles with the telekinesis are cool.
Yeah.
That's a neat thing. I think we're going to be able to do a lot of cool exploration stuff with that, but other than that, though, I'm like, yeah, this looks like what I want out of modern Metroid Prime. I am curious about there seems to be a lot of action in this trailer.
Yes.
And that is not entirely what Metroid is.
Right.
So I'm kind of curious to see if they split it up well. I know that Metroid Prime 3 kind of split like Metroid Prime 3 was probably as actiony as Metroid ever got.
Hmm.
Besides Other M, we don't talk about that.
Right. We don't talk about that.
Um, uh, and I felt that was a pretty good balance. If they can match that, it's good.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Um, it says sometime in 2025. So we'll see.
I'm still totally betting that this will be like launch window for Switch 2.
Right. It
Yeah,
makes
that new
sense.
suit though. That new suit.
That suit is good.
That's ooh, real good. That's
Is
real
that just a
good.
suit, or is that like a dark Metroid? Is that, do we know?
We don't know anything about what the suit is.
Okay.
I know that they've done suit gimmicks in every Metroid game.
Mm-hmm.
So like in Metroid Prime 2, you had the light and darkness suits. You know, you've had Phazon suit. They're like suits are a big part of those games. So it's
Right.
you know, like we'll see what this one's gimmick is, I'm sure.
Interesting. All right.
God damn, they need to put out 2 and 3 on Switch, god damn it.
They should probably do that before this one, I would think. That would seem like a good idea.
They put out 1 and I loved going through it again.
Yeah. But
So, you know.
all right. Well, let's see. This next one was very interesting. It's called Disney Villains Cursed Cafe. I just right out the gate, I just want to talk about what these villains are wearing. This is fantastic. Look at Jafar. He's got an iPod he's listening to that's sitting in his front suit pocket.
With golden headphones. Let's not forget that part.
I like that Captain Hook is like a hipster man.
Yeah.
I love this. I love this. Just wild.
I mean, this is one of those games I would play if I found it on deep discount. This is a game. This is a game I would love to do a quick look of with you if we can find it on steep discount.
Sure. I mean, there are people who are into just Disney stuff in general. Disney adults will probably eat this up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Gaston with an iPhone is fucking me up. This is crazy, man. I don't know. It's the thing. All you're doing is like making stuff. You're making stuff for them to like have. It's a cafe, but it's just seeing them like this is what the hell. And then you're just making potions or whatever. Yeah. So not. Oh, Yzma's in it. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, not much more to say about this. It is what it looks like.
Yeah, it reminds me of that potion crafting game.
Right.
You know, this is totally not my kind of game. I like these more chill experiences are not for me. If my girlfriend was more of a Disney person, this would be up her alley. She's not. She's not a Disney person. So this is kind of not for really. Emily might like this.
I think Emily would be into this.
Emily, confirm in the chat if you would be into this.
Yes. It's not as I don't know. It's not as action packed as a racing game or a what was the other Disney game where you're like
Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah, Dreamlight Valley is a lot more like customizing your area and having neighbors and stuff like that. I don't know. It just seems more involved. This feels like you're very much making these potions and then just watching the villains talk, which again, I wonder what kind of writing they have for this game. I got to be honest. I'm actually curious how the writing is. Right now, I'm just trying to look up a price because they don't even say it in this trailer.
Only $15.
It's like 15.
She would, and it's only $15. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's not bad.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're into Disney stuff and you're like an adult and you're just like, let's just do some Disney stuff. It seems fine.
Yeah.
Especially with like a Switch. You just, if you're carrying a Switch around, like this is a.
Yeah. You know, like you're waiting for a doctor's appointment, getting tire swapped. Like, yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yes. That's interesting. I don't know. We got okay. This game is called Witchbrook. And
yes, this is the new Stardew Valley guy, right?
Wait, is it?
Am I thinking of the right game?
Chucklefish?
Hold on, I might. Oh no! God, It's one of those big indie darlings. I want to. It's not Chucklefish. No, this is the new Stardew Valley guy game. Hold on.
It's made by Chucklefish.
I need to double check. Hold on.
You need to do this now. Let's not get this wrong on our video game news podcast.
Yeah, I want to say it's Stardew Valley guy.
Chucklefish, developer and publisher based in London.
No,
Chucklefish is best known for developing Starbound and Wargroove, as well as being former publishers of Risk of Rain and Stardew Valley.
Okay, that must be it. It's the Stardew Valley publisher then. Got it. All right.
So but they worked on Starbound, which I remember. Starbound.
I remember Wargroove. Wargroove was great. I really liked Wargroove.
I like looking at Witchbrook. Let me tell you, this is a feast of the eyes. My
girlfriend is also beyond excited for this game. She cannot wait. She is over the moon.
Well, so
I'm interested for sure.
Yeah. So are you creating your own character in this and then becoming a witch?
I want to say you are, because it looks like there's different
looks like
protagonists.
And that kind of has me interested. I like the idea. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while. You want to go to wizard school? It's been a while since I delved into any fiction involving going to a wizard school.
I mean, if you want to do something while you wait for this, you just buy a used copy of Hogwarts Legacy.
That's true. I forget. Do you make your own character in that too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and you test into whatever house you get.
That's a test? Well, I already know what house I'm going into, but might as well do the test anyway.
Also, I played that game. The test is really obvious to determine what house you're getting into.
Yeah. Yep. If you know what's up. Yeah, that game looks cool. I'm interested in Witchbrook.
All right. Yeah. No, me too. I have that wish listed on Steam for sure.
Yeah. I need to do that. Eternal Life of Goldman. This is an interesting little side-scrolling platform and action adventuring game. I don't know. What did you feel about this?
I'm actually kind of excited for this one. I'm a sucker for a good old-fashioned 2D platformer.
Sure.
If this game has good music, I will be all over it. The art looks incredible.
It looks incredible. So,
like it's literally like music is my biggest thing.
Right.
Like part of the reason I love Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is yes, it's one of the best platformers I've ever played. It looks great, but it also has some of the best music in a platformer I've ever heard.
Right. This has just a fantastic look. It just seems animated really well.
It looks great, man.
So I'll be looking forward to seeing how that happens. How that it doesn't say when it comes, so we'll keep an eye on that. Gradius, did you ever play the old Gradius?
I did. Yeah. I think a lot of people do. It's pretty good.
It comes around, here and there. Shmup. Yeah, well, Gradius Origins is collecting all of them and a new one.
Oh shit!
Which is actually kind of fucking crazy. I love that.
A whole new generation will get to experience the immense rage of playing Gradius.
Yes.
The controller throwing rage of Gradius.
I mean, I think this is... I love that we're just making room for people who played the old games and just being like, these games used to be made by like 3 people. Let's just send 3 of our people to make a new one of those. That's the money right there.
Yeah, it's free money, especially if you get people who are like, this is the kind of shit I will buy on cheap Steam sale.
Sure.
Like I am happy to see that Konami continues to commit to making video games.
In some way, shape, or form, just come on.
I mean, they got that Metal Gear remake. That Silent Hill 2 remake was good.
Yep.
Since the Konami's get back in there.
It's a little soon, but they're doing some good stuff. It's interesting.
I mean,
okay.
What was that? That Kojima drama was 10 years ago.
God damn it. All right.
I know, it doesn't feel that long ago.
It doesn't feel that long ago.
10 years ago.
It's fine. All right,
That's wild to think about.
It really is. Time. Rift of the Necro Dancer coming to Switch.
Yeah, that's already out on other platforms.
It is.
I really liked Crypt of the Necro Dancer, so a more rhythm-based version of that I'm not opposed to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love for them to do a Nintendo-centric version of this, like how they did the Hyrule version of Crypt of the Necro Dancer. Oh, God, what was that called? God, I'm trying to remember its name.
Unfortunately, that game kind of came and went. We can look that up real quick. While you're doing that, I'm
Cadence of Hyrule.
There we are.
Cadence of Hyrule.
Okay.
Crypt of the Necro Dancer featuring The Legend of Zelda. Yeah, like if they could get me some Zelda rhythm game, play that.
Yeah. I also noticed they had the pizza guy from that game last year.
Oh, Pizza Tower.
Pizza Tower, that's it. Yeah, they on the right here they have Pizza Tower guy. So
yeah, there you go.
Happy for Pizza Tower guys getting featured in other games. Let's make Pizza Tower guy the new Shovel Knight.
Oh, the girl from Celeste is also in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, get the indie love out there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Indie love. All right. Well,
I will say, looking at this makes me want a new Amplitude.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a lot of market for that, but it'd be cool.
You have a PlayStation now. You can play that one they put out like 9 years ago.
Oh yeah. All right.
That's out there.
That's out there. Let's see. What is this one? Why? Oh, this is Tamagotchi, isn't it? Tamagotchi Plaza.
A lot of people really like these games. I feel like Nintendo, at the end of this system's life, just went to every cozy game developer and was like, yo, dog.
Yeah.
We got a big audience for you. And there's something I'm finding out being on social media these days is like, brother, there is a huge amount of like cozy gamers on Switch.
Right. It makes sense. It makes all sorts of sense.
Well, you're getting your comfy chair, your bed, your Switch with the pink Joy-Cons, and you cozy it up. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Animal Crossing came and went.
Yeah, Animal Crossing's on there. Stardew Valley was on Switch.
Yep.
No, dude, I get it. I get it.
This makes a lot of sense, and this is not the last that we'll see of these. So yeah, I think there'll be an audience for this. We also have Witchbrook that we just were looking at. They got some games coming. All right, my favorite subject to talk with you about. We got to talk about Pokemon.
All right.
So I don't know. I don't know if there's any. I forget if they revealed anything new from the last Nintendo Direct, specific or Pokemon Direct. But
they explained the name ZA.
Yes, that was right. There's a tournament,
and I liked that. I actually thought that was kind of cool.
Yes, I do.
I
like
this whole concept / idea they got for this thing. Actually, still looks bad.
Still doesn't look great.
It looks like a PS2 game. Yesterday I captured some footage for Anthony, and I'm just like, man, this just looks like you upscaled a literal PS2 game.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same visual quality of like Persona 4 the Golden.
Right.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I will say this wild area has a little bit more going on than most of the open areas in Scarlet and Violet. So that's something.
Yeah, and I imagine the Switch 2 version will have a stable frame rate at least. So that'll be nice.
Yes. Will Pokemon fall through bridges? I don't know. We'll see. My boy Halucha. And then you're in Lumio City. There's some good memories. in Lumio City.
X and Y was the last time that I really loved Pokemon.
It's a very good game.
So
I
I
want to
will
say
always
that was
have.
like the last universally like this is a great Pokemon game.
Yeah, it was because like
Because 7 was weird. I like the idea, but it was like Pokemon without the gym stuff is strange.
Yeah, and then like I am violently upset at Switch Pokemon. like the amount of potential those games squander
yeah,
actively pisses me off. It just actively pisses me off.
I do love
You
that
know?
this game is also like them going back to like, oh right, we nailed it with Mega Evolutions. We should just do that.
Yes, those also an X and Y feature.
Yes, like yeah, X and
Oh
Y.
god.
I was reading a tweet being like, I haven't been watching Pokemon in a while. What are they doing? And like, it was a combination of 2 Pokemon into 1 Pokemon that was an actual Pokemon. And people were trying to explain it. Like, oh, there's a convergence, whatever. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, man, I gave up on that a long time ago. Like, they feel this need to create over 100 Pokemon every generation. It's just like, eventually you're just gonna you're gonna have these ideas that like should not be, but you have nowhere else to go. So here we are. Like like the fact that your phone is just now a Pokemon. Everyone has a Pokemon that is a phone that is not part of your team. Who can also be your dishwasher and vacuum cleaner, and it's like weird. I don't, whatever.
I will say that between this and Metroid Prime and the rumor of the new Mario Q4
Yeah,
for Switch 2 looking beefy.
They got some, and then some of these other smaller games that look really interesting will be coming out around that time. Like this could be a strong launch.
I know. Yes, and Mario Kart, like the first 6 months for this system are going to kind of be off the chain a little bit.
I'm actually really stoked.
So.
They this goes back to they could have people like hanging on to Switch 1 for dear life for a while, but I don't know, between Mario Kart, this Metroid, and some of these smaller games, I think they've got a chance for a real strong showing, and they may not need to hang out so much. But
I know I'm trying to as soon as possible for Ridge.
Right.
I'm very much looking forward to this.
Yeah.
This is just, I'm curious to see details that they confirm the C button existence.
Oh my god.
Here's what that's for.
Oh no. All right.
What's next?
What's next? Oh, yo, they brought back Rhythm Heaven.
Fuck yes. See, the thing is, they gotta have that wrestler.
He's got to show up, right?
They have that. Yeah, they have that wrestler minigame.
I mean, it sounds like they're trying to do a bunch of new stuff. When we're looking at, it seems like this is their slow build towards like, yo, dog, remember Rhythm Heaven? Just like re-explaining the concept as if it's the first time. And yeah, so,
I mean, to be fair, for a lot of people, it probably is.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, all right. Okay. Yep. I'm into all this.
Oh yeah, the tomato game. Yeah.
Rhythm Heaven continues to be a fantastic franchise. I'm so glad they're bringing it back. It says 2026, so it won't be launch, but that will help
Something
them a lot.
about Rhythm Heaven just appeals to my mind goblins. Like it just appeals strongly. Like I remember when I was playing like the Wii one, and like it was like it just, oh man, just like that wrestling game and a couple other those games just made my brain so happy. Something about it.
It's I don't know. There's something very simple and appealing about these games, and I'm so glad they're coming back.
Yeah, like that Catch Tomato thing. My brain was like, man, I can't wait to play
let's
that.
do it. Yeah.
Also, do I sound fine on your
So
end?
that
Because we
yeah,
got comments
I
saying
saw
when I
that
use my.
comment. You're fine on my end, which means it might be if there is a problem, it's on my streaming end. But I have no reason to
Okay,
believe
well,
anything's
whatever.
weird.
Please keep us updated. We'll push through. So,
Yeah. If nothing else, hopefully the
um,
recording will be fine.
yep. All right.
All right. Yeah. We got Strong Muscle Man. Yeah.
Flip
Fathom Heaven
awesome.
continued to be great.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
All
So
right.
they have now introduced the idea of the virtual game card.
I love this. As someone who lives in a household with 2 Switches, this is amazing.
So we've had ideas. We've had systems for sharing video games across devices before, right?
Yeah. Yes.
This seems to be what I like most about this is that it kind of turns it into it's not like it doesn't feel like an abstract concept you have to explain to people. It's like, here's your virtual game card. It's like a game card, only virtual. And this will allow you to share. There's something that is like tangible in my mind with this concept.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I
Yeah.
completely agree.
I'm a fucking idiot, so
I
I need if you could just give me, oh, it's a game card. Got it. I get this. All right.
I so my girlfriend and I both play a lot of Switch, or I do, and she doesn't play as much, but she has specific games she wants to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wants to play Mario Party, Mario Kart, those kind of games, but like we don't want to buy 2 copies.
Right.
So it's like this is kind of perfect for that scenario. Where it's like, oh yeah, hold on, get your Switch. All right, boom. Let me drop it to you. And it's for 14 days. You can only loan out 1 copy at a time. Yeah, I think that's awesome.
And
I think it's a
then,
great idea. I think it's easy to understand.
right. And after the 14 days, you can re-up the loan, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it has to be in a family group. So up to 8 account users connected in a family group.
Fine.
So, which once again, like that would be perfect for like our little posse in Reno, and then my girlfriend, and then if you ever get down here, you as well. Like that's perfect.
Yeah.
That is all the switching sharing you could want.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. Fantastic. I'm thrilled. So all right.
I wish more services would do this. I wish Steam would do this.
Doesn't Steam have some sort of game sharing thing?
They do. I think it's similar, but I think there are some more limitations on it.
Okay.
But I'm not into. I really wish PlayStation had something like this. The only reason that like PlayStation works as well as it does is because we have 2 of them.
Right.
We have 2 of them, and I'm willing to keep accounts on both and download everything on both.
Right.
So
okay.
This is still cool. I like this.
Yeah, this will be added via system update in late April. So that's soon.
Yeah.
So very cool. Very cool add-on.
Also, it's a very pro family move. Like you have siblings, it's like, oh well, now we only need to buy 1 copy of this digital game.
Exactly. Yep.
Like unless it's something that they want to play together, so.
So they show a montage of various games that are coming, including High on Life here.
Life.
Yep. Did you ever play High on Life?
That's a weird one. I did. It was all right. I didn't finish it, but I enjoyed it. It was all right. Like it was funny. It was
I believe that. Yeah. I am curious about Star Overdrive.
This game looks cool. It's one of those games that I don't want to play it on a Switch.
Right.
But it looks cool.
King of Meat. This seems like a fun little party game.
Now, this is something I would love to get installed and play locally.
Yeah, exactly. Who's Lagoon? This got some interesting little games. This game does not have great frame rate. Fantasy Life Girl Steals Time, but there's some stuff in here, some Animal Crossing stuff going on. All right. Yeah. They got some more games coming. They are still bringing games. What is this? How do you say this? Saga. That's a G. Saga Frontier 2 remastered.
Saga Frontier. That was a popular JRPG franchise.
Okay.
Those games are pretty good. I like them.
It's
I'm not like super huge into them. I've rented them mostly.
okay.
But I think they are this is kind of a perfect experience for a handheld in my mind.
Okay.
I've said before, I love JRPGs on handhelds. I'm actually kind of mad at myself I didn't buy Metaphor on deck
Hmm.
because now I am playing it less than I want to because I don't have like an hour before bed just to chill with it.
Damn.
Um, so yeah.
Well, it looks really cool. Sounds like they added new events to it. So even if you're a fan of just the game by itself, there's more stuff going on.
Cool.
Super cool.
Down.
Available later
Down for
today,
that.
so that's already out.
Yay, there you go.
Monument Valley and Monument Valley 2.
And then 3, like they're bringing the new Monument Valley game.
That's neat.
I remember this being the game that was like trying to sell people on iPad and phone gaming.
Oh,
Like that's
really?
what Monument Valley was like really popular for. Like you can play this real cool video game on an iPad.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what I remember about Monument Valley.
That's interesting.
I
Okay.
like they were solid games. I enjoyed them, but I remember I also remember them being like in House of Cards for some reason.
Really?
Like somebody playing Monument Valley in House of
It's an
Cards.
interesting little ad placement there. That's fine. All right. Well, this next game, I speak. Going back to Patapon, bringing some PlayStation games to Nintendo here. Yo, dog. What if we had Hot Shots?
I love this idea as well.
Yes.
I love Hot Shots Golf.
Mm-hmm.
I, we had the idea for Mario Golf, but it never just coalesced.
Mm-hmm.
We can get Duncan and Anthony on this. Maybe we should get a Hot Shots Golf night going.
Yes, 100%.
There you go.
I'm all for it.
I would be down for some Hot Shots Golf.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is good. This would be a good time, and doing this on the Switch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm all
chilling.
for it. And then just there's not much more to say. It's Hot Shots. Let's play Hot Shots online.
Yeah, there you go. Game that's old as time.
It's old as us. Yo,
so the real question is, do they put Kratos in this one?
They should.
Oh, dude, yeah, this next game, I was so stoked.
They
when
got
I
a
saw
4-player
this.
beat 'em up of Marvel.
And it's by the TMNT guys.
Right.
It's by the people who did that Shredder's Revenge game.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I saw this and like immediately had to resist messaging everyone in our chat being like, so we're doing this, 4-player, we're doing this.
Yeah.
I don't care, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Who does everyone want to play?
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. They showed the roster at the end here. Got Taskmaster in there.
Yeah, there you go.
I was looking at a different trailer. All right, well, we'll have to figure it out. We'll have to find out what the roster is, and we'll discuss on the Discord.
Hold on, I'm gonna do that right now.
Do that right now.
Hold on.
I'll just watch the trailer again.
Yeah, do it.
Let's
Let's see what they go.
Yeah, it's nice to have people who care about, this era of comics making some good old side-scrolling action. It's a good time.
I think that I have been so happy about the revival of the side scroller between Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles and like this and Streets of Rage. Like I have been so goddamn stoked about the revival of the side scroller.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's not confirmed. So every hero, but they have said Nova, Wolverine, Storm, Captain America, Venom, Spider-Man, and then I don't recognize this last one. So
interesting. Okay. Yeah, that'll probably be fun. That's
I can't wait to try out Wolverine and Venom.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
All right. So that is holiday 2025. That's fantastic.
My body is ready. It's gonna be a sick Christmas break game, let me tell you.
Yeah. And then last game of the show was Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream.
Yeah, so the first one of these on 3DS did like insanely well.
Right.
Like it was super popular. This is another cozy game.
Sure is.
This is another like, I think Nintendo has found this niche, and then the only one who's successfully capitalizing on it, that's AAA dev.
Right.
I
And
don't know. These games are neat. They're not for me. Like,
sure.
That's like, it's 2026. That's and that game is gonna do numbers. Oh,
it is very
the
interesting. Like they got a number of these, so I can't help but wonder, like, if some of these are gonna crash and burn, because there's only so many of them. So many cozy game people.
I also think that these are a lot cheaper to make, so it's like
that helps too. That really does help. Yeah. This is interesting, and people get to make little me's of themselves. Literally, like, what I want is they make this the street pass kind of thing. Like, start encouraging more usage in the daily.
The number one complaint I had about the Switch compared to the 3DS was the lack of Street Pass.
Yeah.
I loved Street Pass on the 3DS. I made it so at college I carried my 3DS literally everywhere. I loved bringing my 3DS to conventions, any place with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do that with my Switch if I want Street Pass back.
Right.
I want Street Pass back, man.
Or some version of it. It doesn't need to be an exact thing of Street Pass. But again, like, I think I could see this being a vessel for the social aspects of the console. But I don't know. Yeah.
Like, this thing is a handheld. I would love to see them embrace the fact that this is something you can carry everywhere.
Right. Encourage people to bring it places.
Yes, exactly. I want a world where people are just pulling out their Switches everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Pulling out their Switches. I don't know. Switches. I don't know. We have we have a jump scare. Shigeru Miyamoto shows up.
I did enjoy how he did the directly to you thing.
Yes.
That was a nice little, like a nice little nod to Iwata.
Yeah. I think it's, our video game grandpa is still here, still doing his fun stuff at Nintendo. And he comes on to advertise a new Nintendo app. What's it called? Nintendo
it's like
Today?
A news app, right?
Nintendo Today.
It's like Nintendo News. Yeah, like, I think that this is a cool thing if, it, like, in the case of the fact that I am going to be looking to follow a bunch of Nintendo news regarding the launch of this new platform.
Yes.
I like the idea of this, of just getting it straight from them.
I mean, that's what this was all started to do, right? Like, the reason they started these videos is to just take control of how they were getting the Nintendo news to us. And I tried to download it before, and it did not was not popping up. And now that we're doing this show, it is here. So
yeah, like I just downloaded it. You reminded me to download it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. We got a fun little Mario animation happening here.
Yeah, little run in. All right.
I'll set up the app later. But yeah, it's about just getting Nintendo news to you. Here's just a place to get Nintendo news. And I don't know. I guess I'd have to see how it's set up and how it works. But because I'm trying to think of, like, all right, what would there be a benefit to Sony or Microsoft or Valve doing something similar to this? And I don't know. Here, I don't know. I wish I had gotten a chance to. This is gonna ask me for, like, my account information. I don't have that on me right now. But just, do I want Nintendo news every day, specifically from one app? Because if
I mean, I don't.
yeah, if I don't see me wanting it from another publisher or console maker's app.
I mean, for me, it depends. Well, like, for me, it kind of depends. Because if they're getting me the news first, then sure, fuck it. I don't particularly care. I do like that when you log into the app, you can design it around one of 5 games to be themed.
Oh, that's nice.
You can have it themed around Mario, Zelda, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, or Pikmin.
Okay, well, I got Splatoon, so that'll be fine.
Yep.
Surprised
And
they don't
then
have a
you get to
Pokemon
pick
one.
what game. You can also pick what game series you're interested in, so you can get news for it or not.
That's nice.
So I'm gonna choose all of them.
Yeah, right.
Like, why would I not want the news about WarioWare is the question.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, so this is a little cool thing. Like, they have they have like a little bit of news regarding stuff that just came out and stuff that's coming. You can set up widgets. So if you want to set up
widgets,
the Nintendo Today widgets on your phone.
Okay.
And then they have a countdown to the Switch 2 Direct.
Oh,
3 days to go.
Nice. All right.
And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. That's
Would you want one of these from Sony?
They kind of already have one. I have the PlayStation app. I'm actually curious. They have an app. Let me see if they have a news section. Yeah, they kind of do, because they have your like followed games list and an official news section, so they kind of already have one.
I guess the question is, like, this seems set up to encourage you keeping up with the news, whereas PlayStation is an all-encompassing app doing a bunch of different things.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that technically every publisher could use one of these. I don't want to give them that idea, though, because I don't want 40 apps on my phone just to get video game news.
Exactly. Yes. Like, Valve doesn't need to do this. Like, they are mostly just a marketplace, and there's so much happening every day. I get emails about when the sale starts, and if I don't get the emails, then I'm gonna find it somewhere on the internet. Is like, hey, the Steam sale has cleaned my wallet out. Like, oh, it's time.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, you just log into the front page of Steam. It's a big giant neon sign being like, sales are happening.
Right, that too. Yep.
So
Xbox, they are hurting for news, I think.
Having some good news, at least.
Yeah. Yes. And Sony, I guess, I don't know. I guess Sony's in this spot right now where it's like, do we need it? We're doing all right. So
yeah. So that was it. That was the Direct, right?
Yeah, that was the Direct.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it seemed fine. Not like there was some stuff I was really interested in, some stuff I was kind of in the middle of the road on.
Sure.
The problem right now with Nintendo and the Switch 1 and even I know these games are gonna work on Switch 2. It's like, dude, everyone wants to know what the new hotness is.
Yep.
Tell us about the new. And the new is out in, we get that information on the 2nd.
Which you can find out on the app they just advertised. Keep the tabs. Yep. So I assume you can watch the directs directly from that app.
I would imagine, right?
Right. Like, at least a YouTube video embed. But
oh yeah, no, like you click on stuff and video just starts going.
Okay, great.
So yeah, you're good. Cool. You can do that.
All right, awesome.
All right.
That wraps up Nintendo Direct news. Some fun stuff in there for sure. I have a tab open for Witchbrook now. I'm just gonna take a look at that after the show. That's we got some fun stuff in there. We have good news. We have good video game news, everyone.
The hallelujah.
Sound
it is a
the
Christmas
damn
miracle.
Alarm. Hey, Game Informer is alive. It's alive.
Oh. Yeah, so I was shocked when this happened.
Yeah.
So apparently GameStop sold it off to Gunzilla Games, is the creator of an NFT battle royale game. And then from the start, the new owner insisted on the idea of Game Informer remaining an independent editorial outlet, and they felt strongly, as our team did, that the only path forward was an editorial group that made 100% of the decisions around what we cover and how we do so without any influence from anyone else. I'm like, okay, I wonder how long that's going to be that way. But they now operate.
Oh, go ahead.
They now operate under Game Informer Inc., and our intent is to continue to highlight and focus on the coolest games, celebrating the history and legacy of the gaming industry, and shining a spotlight on creators and players who are charting its future. So
okay. I mean, that sounds great. I am worried, like 6 months down the line, it's like, all right, time to talk about the latest NFT games.
That's always the concern with this shit, right?
Yep.
Like, whenever you have like an entity like that buying a media outlet, but the unfortunate part is what media outlet, so that the game's media outlet space is kind of fucked, right? Because you have kind of like two spaces. You have the space of professional editors and news people who are like have to be held to standards that, you know, like that anyone who goes to school for journalism is held to. But there's also a bunch of big money interests in it. And that's a problem for about a million different reasons. And then on the other side of that, you have like small Joe Schmo who is either not informed about how anything works, or has an agenda, or isn't held to any type of standard beyond, you know, whatever his audience holds them to, and misinformation can easily spread from that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's pick your poison. It's like uninformed, non-corporate entity or informed, awful corporate entity. You know. Or you can come to us, the arbiters of good taste, who will never lie to you.
Exactly. No, very true. We're going to need a lot of money put in before we start coming up with a print version of what we do. But hey, you know, if that's what the people want.
If y'all support us that hard, we will make a print version.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. You know, that's something I never really considered was in our future when we were like starting doing GameCraft. Like I never considered print to be really where we were going at all. But just based on my time, you know, reading game magazines, like that would have been fun. That would have been a fun time making video game magazines.
Because when we started, we were writing for the internet.
Yep.
Like we were writing reviews for the Gamer Access, and for before that our own thing, and like that's what it was. And you know, we were held to a certain standard, and like and in the case of when we were by ourselves, we held ourselves to a standard. And you know, like yeah, man, it's like I never had the perspective of writing for a magazine. And writing for a magazine already just sounds weird as hell.
Right.
Because by the time someone can read that, you wrote that over a month ago.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So
like that, you know, like hearing all the Dan Reichert stories about like different things going on in that industry, like just, you know, just wild to be of just like, yeah, no, at E3 we would just go have a good time and then we would come back and start writing about it. Like versus I think back to my E3 experience, which was go on the show floor all day and then go into a writing cave for the next 5 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
These are also going to be people that I assume, I didn't look, I assume there's a website that they'll be posting their stories to as well, and the print will just come out when it comes out.
Yes, so they're starting out doing website work, and they even posted a backlog of content from when they went away.
Okay.
So like they launched with like Game Informer's belated top 10 games of 2024, for example. Like they did that. They did a bunch of reviews from when they were gone, like just a bunch of content,
Yeah.
And so yeah, and now they're working on getting the print version back into production and getting that amped up. And um I want to support good games coverage.
Yes.
Not just from us, but from other people. And it makes me want to throw some money at the like print version of this.
Yeah.
Like that's honestly what it makes me want to do, because like there's Game Informer, while not perfect, covers the news and covers everything fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a solid outlet. It always has been a solid outlet. They've been around since the early 90s. So yeah, I would love to see more of that. I want to see more of that in general. I want to see, show companies that it is financially viable beyond IGN and being an SEO mill.
Mm-hmm.
So, put my money where my mouth is and on that, just like how I already, I have Jeff's Patreon, and, I have, and I have, God, I'm forgetting their name. Dear Lord, blanking. Oh well. Anyway, but yeah, I have Jeff's Patreon. I've had other, good games coverage Patreons in the past, and yeah, no, I think that this stuff is important.
Yes. Yeah. If you care about, the traditional, games industry, how it's come a long way since the 90s and 2000s. If you care about the history and then yeah, just having these spaces where gamers can get together and celebrate video games. This is just yet another vector of that, and it's be cool to be able to preserve that. Like Retro Gamer, as we talked about previously on this podcast, is one such place. And I don't think Game Informer was the last one. It's just, nice to preserve what we can if we're able to. So, and now that money's not going to GameStop. So,
even better. Really, that's the real reward of this, is if we can choke the life out of GameStop just a little faster. Just a little quicker. It'll be a good for the world. Honestly, one of my big concerns right now is I may have to get my Switch 2 via GameStop if no one else has enough. I'm like, oh God, please no.
Right.
Please.
Yep. And then if
Best Buy, anywhere else. Right. Anywhere else.
I don't think so, man. We'll see. Yeah, I wish the best for these Game Informer peeps. Really hope this NFT group does not screw it up. Odds aren't amazing, but we'll see. I can't imagine the NFT Battle Royale game is doing incredibly now. I don't know how that company got their money.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions about how a lot of money gets made, and I don't always understand it.
Yep. Nope, you're right. Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we'll keep an eye out on when Game Informer starts rolling out again. So yeah. Let's move on to the next story, which involves microtransaction stuff. Another sort of good news story.
Yeah, no, I was so happy getting the news this week. I was just like, we got Nintendo Direct, we got happy news. Like,
yeah,
we're good vibing this week.
We're doing okay.
All they had to do was Duncan had to get food poisoning to make it happen.
Exactly. Oh, who would have thought? Let's see. So yeah, the title of this: EU just took a big step towards combating predatory microtransactions. I think that's a little bit of hyperbole, but it's still in the good direction. They set some guidelines, right?
Yes. So price indicators should be clear and transparent. You can't obscure the price of in-game content or services. Practices that force consumers to purchase unwanted in-game currency should be avoided. Consumers should be provided with clear and comprehensive pre-contractual information. Consumer right of withdrawal should be respected. Contractual terms should be fair and written in plain and clear language. Game design and gameplay should be respectful of different consumer vulnerabilities.
Well,
is basically the long and short of it.
Okay, was that last one directly from the guidelines they wrote?
Yes. So they were to help on front. We have now established guidelines with 7 key principles that must be followed when it comes to virtual currencies. So
they are guidelines that must be followed. They're not law yet.
Yet is the key thing.
It's like you guys need to start pulling this back, or we will pull it back to where we want it to be.
Yes, and I am completely okay with that.
100%.
I think where this shit is going is disgusting. I have said before that I think that a lot of this shit is really predatory for a lot of different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I think it's predatory is one, it just has a million different comparisons to gambling. That's the first one.
Right.
They always obfuscate.
They
always yes, thank you. I can't say words.
Yeah, I was struggling too. It takes 2 of us to get one coherent sentence out. So they
obviously the value of these currencies. This has been happening as far back as Xbox Live, where 1,600 points was $20.
Yep.
You have that going on. You have loot boxes where you have no idea what you're gonna get, when you're gonna get it. You have gotcha, same system. This is all predatory and gross and horrible, and they've gotten more clever about it. The more I read into Honkai and Genshin, and quite frankly, what is cope from that community, is like, oh man, I get all this free shit. It's like, great, dude. That's awesome. That's just them getting you comfortable. Like how the casino gives you free drinks.
See, and that's the thing. That's something I was really happy about too. Was when we went to Vegas for CES, and we would just ride the penny slots, and they'd give us mojitos. It was a fucking deal.
Yeah, like that. There are some people that can do that, but most people,
right?
I feel, or like even
most.
a high enough portion.
Well,
but a lot, enough where it's a problem.
Yes.
Like
we don't have these numbers, but yeah, that's just my assumption.
Yeah, like they don't. Yeah, like they just don't have the control over that, and it's just, it's just frustrating to watch. Like and the thing is, like, I've been taken for that ride.
Right.
Like Overwatch loot boxes hit me pretty hard. Like it didn't bankrupt me. I didn't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
But like I spent way more than I should have on Overwatch loot boxes because I wanted those time limited. That's another gross pressure thing they do.
Yep.
Halloween skins and Christmas skins. So and that, I think that while these games don't do that as much, like they don't do the time limited stuff as much, it's still there in a lot of cases.
Well,
and
yeah.
I think it's fucking gross. It's super gross. And it's just, God, it pisses me off so much.
It goes back to kind of what we're experiencing now in some ways to the way the economy's been, developing the way it has before, all the tariffs and all the other nonsense that is happening for other reasons. But it's what happened was we got to the loot boxes in Overwatch and all that, like, brought down like Congress looking at how it's messing things up, and they pull back and said, okay, that was bad. And now time has passed, and they're adding more, and they're adding more, and they're adding more, and now we have government entities starting to look at it. It's a little softer this time, but we're getting back to the point again where it's like, you're just gonna have to set a law. You're just gonna have to do that. You literally have to. And I am one. This is going to wreck most of the games industry in the West that does live service, where you have to show the clear value in dollars and cents. None of this weird conversion stuff. Yep.
this character in this game is $5.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have loot boxes or gotcha anymore. No, done with this shit. And you have to make it very clear you're paying for this with your debit or credit card. That should be what it should be. Like, I am the closest I have gotten to this has been Marvel Rivals, where it is, hey, this skin is 1,600 units, that's $16. And even then, they still have to like do the weird pricing structure thing of just like, why can't you just say it's $16?
Right.
Why do I have to, God,
Yep.
it's so fucking frustrating.
Yeah. So it's funny coming, this is going to be happening at the same time that America in particular, I can't speak to overseas very much, but in America, just like gambling is bigger than it's ever been.
Oh yeah, people are betting on, just everything right now.
Yeah.
Like everything, like political elections.
Sports gambling has become such a ridiculous.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, I live in a state where DraftKings is illegal. You can't sign up for DraftKings here. Probably because Vegas was like, nah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, dude. From the comfort of your home and on your phone, you can bet on all the major sports in the United States: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and then you can bet on the PGA, MMA, soccer, fucking NASCAR, tennis, the college version of all those sports, F1, and more.
Yep.
Like, you could go out and you can bet on rugby union and fucking lacrosse.
Yeah.
You can bet on handball and cycling. Who the fuck is betting on cycling?
They're out there, man.
Like, who the fuck is betting on snooker? Kind of degenerate ass shit is this?
The thing is, it's snooker, so I think there's a lot of high rollers, maybe less total. I think the kind of people that have money are into. We're betting on croquet. Let's go.
Like, I get it, yeah, man. You throw a bet on a football game, I get it. I've done that. Throw a bet on a baseball game, sure, like, fine. But like, you gotta sit here and be like, yo, dog, let's go bet on this college lacrosse game.
Right. So that's got me wondering, at some point, when the hammer eventually comes down, if this, I feel like the time to regulate more gambling in general in America, the climate, it's not there yet, but
you have to see enough people have to lose their ass,
right,
to where it becomes a problem.
Which depending on factors outside of gambling, that may very well happen soon. Who knows?
I mean, yes, considering I saw on TikTok like people losing Super Bowl bets and being so upset by it they destroyed their televisions. Yeah, duh. Like, I have a feeling that is definitely coming sooner rather than later.
That one's tough though, because like, how much of that is just people being
just content
awful.
Farming? Yeah,
content farming. Yeah, same thing. Being awful, content farming, same thing.
You're right.
It's the same thing. I saw one of my YouTube creators I follow did a video on how movie theaters are dying and showed a bunch of people fighting each other in the movie theater. And it's just like, I don't know. I think some of this is just because we're just becoming bad people.
I mean, I understand the death in the movie theater, unfortunately, because since they got rid of the cheap matinee theater, it's now at least $13 to go to a movie here, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And even for matinee showing. And it's like, bro, I can literally buy the movie in 4K to own for $20 to $30. And I have a recliner at my house and a reclining couch at my house. And I make food at my house that is delicious. Like, I can make a delicious, anything I want. And just like have a better experience at my my home.
See, yeah, and then we've had this conversation a number of times, so we won't get into it again. But I just prefer the movie theater experience, especially now that I've moved to a town that has a local, like, beloved small theater. It's like literally 3 theaters, and you go in and grab some beers and hang out with like a few dozen other people and watch a big movie on a big movie screen.
I would love that if Reno had that experience. It doesn't.
Right.
It has.
Yeah.
Like our good, and the fact it's just the price of our good movie theater is just too goddamn much.
God, Bronson, you gave me a terrible idea. Like, if things crash out here and I need to move to Reno, I'm gonna start a small movie theater. That's what I'm gonna do.
Just stay out alone for a small movie theater,
and then we can experiment with like you want to talk during the movie. Guess what? We are going to explore what we could legally do to you.
Just our movie theater cast system, just like all right, this is we have a social credit system at these movie theaters.
Yeah. This is the rowdy theater time. You don't buy tickets for this unless you want the rowdy showing.
Well, there you go. If you want just the quiet film experience going during these hours.
When the rowdy showing happens, we have guards with guns just outside the door. So don't do anything that calls them in. Otherwise, have fun and don't break anything.
Just
yeah.
I actually thought about I actually found out it is wildly cheap to rent a movie theater.
Yeah. You could, but if you can set it up with whoever does the projector stuff, you could project video games onto a screen.
Oh yeah, you can. You totally can. Like but I was like looking at it, and I was like, it is like super affordable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, one of my birthdays, I might have to get, like, I might pay for that for just me and the boys to have a movie theater for like a night.
Yeah,
like that's like, because dude, it's like, yeah, look, I understand the concept of $100 an hour sounds crazy, but then you're getting a whole fucking movie theater.
A whole movie theater. If you get a group of guys together, split that cost.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
Yeah, especially for us in our 30s. It's just like, yeah, you could swing.
Yeah,
that.
like you're making grown person money, and you got like 12 people going in on it. It's not bad at all.
Not bad. Yeah. So. Anyway, I could talk about that forever, but hey, microtransactions, they're setting guidelines and then suggesting, hey, laws will come if you do not back off.
I'm like, I feel like this is a race between the US game industry figuring out gotcha and this happening. It's like, which is going to happen first?
I mean, that's a good question. I think where America's at right now, they are not gonna be first. I think EU is absolutely gonna. I find it interesting that EU's even trying to be like, oh, let's see if you can police yourself. They're not gonna do that.
No, it's no one ever does.
They're gonna make the maximum amount of money they possibly can until they legally cannot.
I've said this before, and it's very much, dude, it used to be people like, that's how the ESRB was made. Like, no, we want to police ourselves, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And they did. That doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
That doesn't, like, it is, no, we must burn the money furnace as hard as we can until we legally have to stop.
Yep.
It is just, we must make as much money as hard as we can, as long as we can, until we are legally required to be ripped away from it.
Yep. So, we'll see where that goes. That's what it is. We will keep covering that topic as we have over the years. So,
I will continue my campaign against the gotcha.
While I'm thinking about it right now, do you know about Limbus Company?
Well, no, never heard of this. What is this?
It is a gotcha that, according to my friend who has tried a number of gotchas, is the only like good one.
Okay.
I don't know very much about it. I played like 1 hour. It's not something that really appeals to me, but I think you should check it out in your gotcha research.
My God, Charisse. Okay.
You
All
know,
right.
for the
All right.
eventual
And
video
this
that'll
looks
come.
cool. I'm looking at it. This looks neat.
Yeah. So yeah, well, something to have on your mind for that. Netflix. They have some
Netflix.
words to say.
Yeah, I heard this.
What?
Go on.
Why? Okay. Which I love IGN's little subtitle of buffering. That's yep. Uh, expecting a future generation that relies less on gaming consoles as major players like Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo push forward with new hardware. Did you read what the specific quote was? Because I want to sound off on the title alone, but it can't just be that.
It's kind of that. It's the younger generations don't want a PlayStation 6. They will just want to play games whenever, however, in the most convenient way possible on existing devices that they already own.
Well, duh.
This feels like something from like, this guy is not like someone who has never played games. Like he has worked on big budget AAA video games. So this feels like he's just trying to gaslight people.
Well, yes, he is. Look at this quote where he says, like, are 8-year-olds and 10-year-olds dreaming of owning a PlayStation 6? I am not sure. Like, he doesn't even know. He's just trying to... It sounds like he's just trying to make a case for Netflix gaming. That's all it is.
Right. Like, I'm very vigorous about lowering friction, eliminating if we can. I see that subscription friction as well. Maybe good friction because it makes business sense. But we did the test of eliminating a subscription for mobile games, Squid Game Unleashed, and we do many other tests. But the other friction is having enough controllers for the family, having a piece of hardware that might be expensive. That's another friction. Waiting for the game to download. That's another friction. Like in early 2024, the games engagement had tripled throughout 2023, signaling that continued to invest in the space in the future. But less than 1% of Netflix subscribers touch their game offerings. In fact, I actually wish I could turn them off because I'm tired of logging in to Netflix to watch something and getting ads to play video games. Like, I don't... and here's the thing, that this goes back to those people who are like, phone games and streaming games are going to be the biggest thing ever. And I'm like, dude, no. Maybe, if you can figure out this stuff on controls for phone, maybe phone. But like streaming video games ain't it. There is input latency.
Right.
Stop trying to gaslight people into streaming fucking video games.
I tried, man. I really tried. It's great for if you get to a Wi-Fi connection, but even then there is latency. So like high speed games that require a reaction time is just not going to happen.
Like, it's fine for a turn-based game. Like, you do Persona on these. But you do, like, old... Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, the vast majority of video games are not turn-based. And playing with that kind of latency sucks.
It just doesn't feel good.
It's a bad experience. And, like, if you were a kid and you had that kind of latency, even then, I wouldn't like it. There's a difference between latency and just kind of shit frame rate. Like, N64 games, a lot of them had bad frame rate.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a massive, absurd amount of latency.
Right.
I'm
a fan of Shadow of the Colossus. I can play with bad frame rate, let me tell you.
Yes.
But it's not, yeah. So what I find most interesting about, I think this story brings up an interesting idea, which is, we are now entering a time where Gen Z doesn't know how to use a computer, really. They interact with everything with phones. And so it got me thinking about video games. Like, I could see a world in which they figure out phone controls, or just like some like controller adapter for phones becomes really popular and becomes the de facto controller you do for phone games, and everyone gets one and it's fantastic. But
like game consoles kind of already are that, right? It's
like, what if instead people invest in just getting a really, really nice phone and then just play games that work on phone stuff.
I mean, yes, I think that'd be fine. I think that you run into other hurdles with that. Like, look, phones have gotten more powerful than ever, but like also you look at Resident Evil 4 running on a phone, even the fastest phone in the world, it still has a bunch of problems.
Yeah. Well, this goes back
Like,
to I think there's a lot of success to be had in just dialing back what a game needs to be successful. I don't think that's going to kill console games, but I think there's a whole market there if they were to embrace that.
I mean, I think that the phone game market, especially if you figure out the controller thing, is a potentially huge market. But I also think that a lot of people from video games, they want to play it on a monitor, they want to play it on a television, they expect a certain level of graphical quality. I don't think it needs to be, the most expensive thing in the world, but it needs to like at least look good. And, I think that is an expectation now. And I think that phones just don't have the chutzpah to do it. I think that and I also think the phone audience is inherently different. I think that if anything, I think that if you can make something like the Steam Deck, but compatible with most of the Steam library, instead of just like weird, like 75% of it,
Mm-hmm.
without like the technical know-how needed to drive it,
Yeah.
then I think that is the ultimate device because you have that simple Steam OS interface, being able to play the vast majority of games. They look good enough, and you hook up to a TV and it looks good enough. And it's still like sub $500. Like I think what the Switch 2 is and what Steam Deck 2 will be is kind of where the future of where games are going. I don't necessarily think phone is it just because it doesn't quite have the horsepower. It's simplistic enough for sure. And you technically can hook a phone to a television if you really want to.
Technically, yes.
But I just don't think it's there. I think that if you talk to your average normie, like the ones I've worked with, hey, do you want to play Call of Duty on your phone? Like they're like, not unless I have to, or it's the only thing I have.
It's a question I think is worth asking for the youngest generation that is getting into games, especially like the ones that are like just getting out of school and getting out on their own. But I think it's an interesting conversation, but compared to like the kids that are not learning how to use a computer anymore, I think that, yeah, it's not there yet. And it's definitely not going to be happening with streaming a video game. Whatever you are playing on, it has to run on the thing.
Yes, that for sure. I think that Nintendo in particular has been ahead of this curve since the Wii. They realized during that generation that doing the graphics arms race is dumb.
Yep.
It's not worth the time and the money.
Yep.
And we need to find new ways to do things. And the Wii was that, and the Wii U wasn't. And then with the Switch, they kind of figured out what people want is flexibility. Like people want the ability to play their games, in any room, anytime, pick up a device. Hey, I can plug this in my TV, have a good time. I can play this in my bed, have a good time. I think that handhelds, I've been saying this for a while. We did that handheld future video last year. I think the Switch and now the Switch 2 and the Steam Deck and the ROG like that is the future of video games. That is where games are going.
I think that's where, yeah, I'm happy for that. If they can make that happen, that would be great. And it seems like that's the direction we're all going in.
Yeah, and I think it even shows in the PC space where if you look at the most popular graphics cards on Steam, for example, the number one is a 4060, a 3060, and then like it's that level of power, and then in the top 10 is 4060 laptop.
Mm-hmm.
What this tells me is there are a lot of people on Steam game on laptops.
Mm-hmm.
Like laptops are huge. I think that portability for a lot of people is a huge factor.
Yep.
Like not everyone is guys like me who are willing to turn half of their home office into a like great place to play games. Right? Like an amazing, like big OLED screen, like great computer setup, like that's time, money, space. A lot of people just want a device where they can do it anywhere and have a good time with it, and it's easy to use.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why the gaming laptop got popular. That's why the Steam Deck and ROG Ally are really taking off. That's why the Switch is the most popular device in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it makes sense. It's I think that like this dude, I feel like he's just trying to justify the position of Netflix gaming.
Yep.
Like that's kind of what it feels like. And the thing is I do think kids want a PlayStation 6 or a Switch 2 or some of them even an Xbox maybe for some reason.
Right. The fact is they're not out yet. So why they're not? Of course they're not thinking about it.
Yeah, and to be fair, they want the current thing.
Yes.
I am sure if you talk to most 10, 11, 8, 9-year-olds, they will all tell you if they don't have a PlayStation 5, like, oh, PlayStation 5 would be cool. Because, yeah, it would be cool.
What really helps is when you have games that people want to play on the console. So when you mention, hey, do you want a PlayStation 6? Like, I don't know. No one knows a damn thing about PlayStation 6.
Exactly. Like, I don't, like what I do know is PlayStation 5 is out now and there's a lot of really kick-ass games on it.
Notice he mentioned PlayStation 6 and not Switch 2.
Yes. Well, that's because I think that, whether he knows it subconsciously or just doesn't want to say it, the Switch 2, in my mind, is, once again, I think that's the future of where games are going.
That's the future where games are going. Here's a new console that's coming later, and we know details about it, and there are games that people want to play that are announced for it.
Yes, and look, I know that everyone except Nintendo wants to go this multi-platform strategy where they're putting games everywhere and trying to make as much money off the software as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But what sells hardware at the end of the day is games. And what the industry is turning into is something where Nintendo is just the ultimate victor. Because Nintendo will die before they put their shit on other platforms.
Right.
Straight up.
Well,
but
Switch is an argument for both. Switch has those exclusive games that you're not going to find anywhere else, and they are also the only console manufacturer that's doing the portable thing as well, where you have the option, and people are dying for that right now. That one thing specifically.
Yes, but also like a big part of it is a lot of people buy it because these are games you can only play on the Switch.
Yes.
You can only play Tears of the Kingdom and Mario Odyssey and Smash Ultimate and Animal Crossing on the goddamn Switch. Plus, you can play Fortnite. Plus, you can play like a lot of the big third-party stuff. And on Switch 2, all of the big third-party stuff, including Call of Duty, if what Microsoft said is true.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Microsoft, like the ultimate winner here really does feel like Nintendo.
Oh, 100%.
Because it's like, because they're doing the portable thing, going in every which direction.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bunch of games that you can't get anywhere else.
Yep.
And everyone is putting games on them. Like Sony finally is testing the waters. They put out Lego Horizon and Patapon. Microsoft has already put out Hi-Fi Rush and a bunch of games on there with a bunch of more coming. I am guarantee you if Indiana Jones could run on Switch 2, they would have put it on goddamn Switch 2.
Right.
So
there are two fronts to the console wars. One is the games, which I do like them sharing the games more. I'm always a fan of being able to play video games in as many places as you can, but it's also an undeniable fact that if you have a franchise that people are dying to play, you want them exclusives so that you attract people. But then they're also winning on the argument outside of games as well. Like Sony's just where everyone's at. Like that's just a standard, like, here's a video game console, we nailed it. And then Xbox is like, we're technically the most impressive, but that's not enough. Like, there's some neat little things in there that I appreciate for sure, but it's not enough.
And as much as I like appreciate PC gaming and the indie ecosystem that is there, PC gaming is more expensive than it's ever been.
And it's getting worse. Yep.
And yeah, like the buy-in for PC gaming right now is crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, it is, and I realize these graphics cards are a month to 3 months old, but like, bro, a 5070 is a bad card and it's $700.
Yeah.
In most places. A 5070 Ti is a $1,000 mid-range graphics card right now in most places. Like, brother, and yes, you can play games on a 4060, but you're gonna run into bottlenecks, and at that point, why not just play it on a console? Because it's cheaper.
Yep.
So it's like, like it's like, dude, Nintendo is the kind of the only one playing this game in a way that actually makes goddamn sense.
Yep. No, they've gotten themselves into a strong position, very strong, and it shows in that they're just not. They're updating the Switch in some ways, but otherwise they are going full steam ahead. Because why change?
And I think that and I think that that's partly because, and I think Sony is, if Sony, like, they're in like a weird position because like they're so successful being a standard box right now, right?
Yep.
Like, it's really hard to move away from that, but that's obviously not the future. So they're kind of in a weird place. And I think that, PC's biggest problem is not the software. Like, the software is great.
Yeah.
And the experience is great. It's just like the buy-in is so high.
Right.
Like the buy-in to even if I were to do a 4060 build with a bunch of other mid-range parts, right?
Yeah.
That's still going to be like an $800,000 machine.
Yeah.
Like Linus Tech Tips did a like PS5 Pro killer, right? Like, that was like, we're going to make a $700 machine that beats the PS5 Pro. And they couldn't. They're like, and even then they still had to do used parts. Like, it's,
yep. Yeah, it's rough out there. But Sony's still probably hurting a bit from the Vita.
Yeah, like I think that Sony got burned real hard in the handheld space because of the Vita.
Yep.
And they're just kind of afraid to go back. And I think that's unfortunate because, man, our last news story that we have is about, the 20th anniversary of the PSP. And I look back at that thing as I like ponder on that 20 years.
Yeah.
And I like, man, that thing really was the start of this whole thing. It was basically a portable PS2 level system.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, like, and they have this huge level of experience and expertise in that space, and they just kind of bounced out,
I understood at the time why they did, but it just turned out that the Nintendo had different plans for the industry. So, yeah, it was an interesting conversation. I don't know. That guy's just defending Netflix games, which that's his job. Like, he's wrong.
Yeah,
but whatever.
It's his job. I feel like you do a better way.
Yeah.
Better way of doing it.
Yeah. Let's get through these last couple news stories, then we can get to talking about the PSP a little bit to round this out.
Yeah.
Hey, Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know how to say his name. He's a very famous
soccer player. Yeah.
He's gonna be in Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
Okay, so you know what the weird part about this story was?
What's the weird part of this story?
Not even the weird part, but just like, those games are really popular in South America. Like, those games are insanely popular in South America.
Yeah.
So when this was announced, I didn't even blink an eye. I was like, yeah, that game's huge in Brazil.
Yeah.
That game's huge in South America. That makes sense.
But
and then I just went about my day, not even thinking about it.
I understand that. Like, there is no argument in that realm. My mind immediately went to, I want to know his moveset. What does he do? I want to know. They got him to give this headshot here. That's good. Let's go ahead. I wanna watch this trailer. Um, I'll lower the volume a little bit just to.
I'm just mad they didn't give it more drip. All the characters in these games have so much
I
drip.
know. Look, man. If I was asked to be in a fighting game, it was like I want to choose what I wear. It's a big part of fighting games is being able to wear what you want.
Well,
Just look around like you're surrounded by weirdos. This guy seems like a cool guy. I don't know.
I'm upset because like I normally don't enjoy these games, but the more they show this game, the more I kind of want to try it.
I definitely want to try it. I wouldn't be good at it, but I want to try it.
I don't know.
Maybe this is what he chose to wear.
I mean, you know, it's soccer clothes, I guess.
Soccer clothes. I don't know. Yeah.
This is a physical version of this game.
April 24th, 2025.
I'm tempted.
That is soon.
It's also right before that second Capcom fighting game collection comes out. Like that's May 16th.
Wow.
Anyway,
I'll give it some time. That's cool. I'm happy for people who are fans of that player. That's a fun addition to City of the Wolves. That'll be fun to mess around with when that game comes out. So yeah,
it better give a Hispanic or Brazilian soccer announcer doing commentary.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, that would be so good. That's like part of his finisher is one just manifests.
When he beats you with his finisher, he just goes,
go. Yeah, it'd be fun. We got a new story. Hey, Assassin's Creed Shadows sold a bunch. As it turns out.
Well, it sold better. So it's the second most successful launch in their history. And it sold more copies than Star Wars Outlaws did in 3 months. But Star Wars Outlaws was really disappointing. Like, all the news stories about this game's sales have me confused because I'm like, I don't know if this is selling well or not because you're not giving exact numbers and you're saying it did better than these other games. But you're not saying it's doing well.
Well, so that's why I was struggling when you linked this article to me because the actual headline is Assassin's Creed Shadows sold more physical UK copies in 1 week than Star Wars Outlaws did in 3 months, and it's like what a very weird specific choice of a stat to put in your headline. That doesn't mean anything to me really.
You know, like it's so weird. Like it's such a like specific, like they're trying to gaslight investors into thinking it's good.
But it's coming from like VGC too. Like the way, like, okay, while Shadow's physical sales remained around the same as those of Assassin's Creed Mirage, the higher price resulted in more revenue. Makes sense, but also we're talking about only physical sales.
Right, like now I don't know. Maybe Assassin's Creed has a bigger physical audience.
I believe
because,
that. You know, it's just, but like we both know that that's not like the majority. It could be the majority. I don't know, but it's not like that's not the full picture. It's not. So what are we doing? It says Ubisoft has announced that the game has reached 2 million players. Okay, thank you. 2 million. Jesus. And It sounds like it's another Ubisoft Assassin's Creed game. It is successful for Ubisoft as it has been as a franchise. It is not going to save them, but it's doing well. So
apparently, it's sitting on an 81 on Metacritic on PS5, a 79 on PC, and an 85 on Xbox.
It does make you wonder how much of news coverage is indirectly being reported in such a way as a counter to the toxic discussion around the game in the build up to its release.
Yes, I definitely think that is part of it with this game, just to get rid of these weirdos screaming about nothing.
Right.
Basically.
Which is very funny because it now plays into Ubisoft's favor, which like But again, it's not enough. Thankfully, just like a lot of other controversial stuff regarding video games, like the vast majority of people who play these mainline franchises like Assassin's Creed have no idea what's going on, and they're just going to play the game they
No, they
like.
don't. No. Right, and
Yeah.
I heard that as far as one of these goes, it's a good one, but from the critics that I know and follow, like Yahtzee said exactly like, do you know what one of these is? It's one of those.
One of those.
One of those
They
again.
put
It's
out another one of
assassin.
those.
It's not necessarily. I've been curious to try it. The thing that I keep hearing from multiple people I know personally is, yo, dog, you're kind of better off playing Ghost of Tsushima or Rise of the Ronin.
Okay.
But like that's it. Like it's not bad. It's not bad. It's fine. But if you have not played Rise of the Ronin or Ghost of Tsushima, they are probably better picks.
Right.
Or this kind of experience. I also hear the second protagonist, Yasuke, is not fun at all.
Oh no!
He is a bummer.
Damn.
So and that's another thing I keep hearing. Like they just kind of wish the whole game was Naue.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah.
I heard it was good. If you're into Assassin's Creed, it sounds like it's more of that. Otherwise, I don't know. But yeah, someone who's not been into Assassin's Creed for a while, this is not going to pull me any closer, but I'm happy for those fans.
Yeah, I'm somebody who fell off the series a long time ago.
Yep.
Like I recently tried to get in Valhalla when Love of Morningstar says I heard the new AC is really good. Hey, fair enough.
That's what I hear.
Everyone has different tastes.
Yeah.
For me, I fell off that bandwagon a long time ago. I played about 4 or 5 hours of Valhalla earlier this year and was like, yep, it's another one of these, but with a new coat of paint.
Do they have
cool, I'm done.
Do they have a hidden blade in this one?
Yeah, they have a hidden blade in all of them.
Okay,
even
good.
in the
because I just got the impression they got rid of those.
No, that's even in the Viking one.
Okay, good.
Like that is universal. You want a hidden blade, my friend.
The moment they get rid of the hidden blade, it's not Assassin's Creed to me anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that is a key part of that franchise.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that is Mario without coins, man.
They've gotten rid of a lot of what I remember Assassin's Creed being. So like that for me is like the final nail when they get rid of that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna wait to try it until it's on like deep discount. See, I don't really like the older AC, but this looks good, says Lilith Morningstar.
Yeah. I mean, this also goes back to what are the themes you enjoy? Like if you were not into Egypt or Vikings,
Greece,
or
Vikings,
you might not be into that. Yeah, I played until I didn't play 3. I played 1 and 2 and Black Flag. I was like, I have gotten my fill.
I had played all of them up until like Valhalla is where I stopped, and then I went back to it and didn't enjoy it. And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to know a way to get me onto Assassin's Creed is you do Assassin's Creed, but it's modern day like Watch Dogs, and you got hidden blades and shit.
Have that game. It's called Watch Dogs.
Nah, it's not. Get more of the assassins. Get more. I don't know. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, but with hidden blades.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Give me some Bomb Rush Cyberpunk with hidden blades, just neck stabbing. Well,
it'd be sick. All right.
There you go. Cell shaded neck stabbing. That's what you really need.
Cell shaded neck stabbing. And
that is the title for the week.
There you go. We nailed it. We got it right at the end. Real quick, PSP.
Yeah, hey, the PSP has turned 20. It is that's a thing that is 20. Well, it turned 20 in December for Japan, but for us Americans, in freedom time, It is 20 as of this past week. And man, the more I look back on that system, the more I love it, and the more I think, holy shit, it was the precursor of where video games are going.
Yes.
That system did all the multimedia things. It did the movies, the music, the pictures, the games, and then it also was as close as you could get to PS2 games on the go. Obviously, it was not full PS2 games, but it was as close as you could possibly get. They put a full Grand Theft Auto, a full Metal Gear, on a full God of War game on that damn system. They figured out a way to make it work. And I used to have a lot of fun memories of that system.
Yeah. I was not sold on it early on, but it was definitely when that freight came out, it was this it was a sign of things to come. And as long as they, made something stable and worked, and that first PSP sold pretty well. If I remember correctly.
Like 87 million units. Like it was a great system. I played my PSP to death. Like I loved that thing. Peace Walker is one of my favorite games. Luminous is one of my favorite games. That's how my first time finishing Persona 3 was on the PSP. So yeah, like that thing was ahead of the curve, and it was a system that I still love. I still love the look of it. Like the PSP just looks goddamn modern, even still. Like it looks like a cool fucking device. I wish more handhelds would have a wrist strap tie on that people will instead use to put little charms on.
Well, so that's nice, but the interesting thing is if they were to do their Switch, their Steam Deck version, did they include that on their big one?
Yes, absolutely.
Sell charms, yeah, that would be fun. They should take another shot at it. I don't know if people will buy it, is the thing, but
I mean, yeah, my argument is like as long as you can play your PS4 games on it, I think it would do well.
There's your selling point, is that it plays all the PlayStation games.
Exactly. So anyway, I think it's a show.
That's a show. I just want to shout out real quick because you posted it in the news section we were looking at. They're adding Jay and Silent Bob to Call of Duty. I just wanted to celebrate with you.
Yeah.
Fucking
we should
awesome.
play COD as Jay and Silent Bob.
That'd be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
We should duo murder both of them and then go over them and say, $15, little man. Put that shit in my head.
Do they have proximity chat in that?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely proximity chat in Warzone.
Okay, good.
Jay and Silent Bob in Warzone.
Just play it, Jay and Silent Bob in Warzone, and like the last thing you hear is just snoochie poochies, and then get tired.
You just hear them singing the time. Oh, we,
my jungle love. Yeah. There
you go.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So
yeah, that's the real good news. Anyway, that was actually we had a mostly positive news show this week. That doesn't happen very often. I'm stoked.
I know. Just take it in. Take it in. Take it in. Positive
let's celebrate this.
Good vibes going into springtime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all for joining us for this show. Hey, you want to catch this show? You want a recorded version of this show? We upload these onto YouTube as soon as we can. You want an audio version? We put that up on Spotify. We put that up on Apple Podcasts, where you get your podcasts. We're on social media.
Yes, sir.
Pick your favorite social media. We're probably there. If you're on one of those weird ones,
we are everywhere.
Yes,
we are Legion. We have a Discord. You should join our Discord. Hang out with us.
You should absolutely join our Discord. That is the place where you want to talk with us and talk about gaming news and things like that. Post gaming news for us to talk about. Go throw some stuff around in there.
Yeah,
we got fighting game groups starting to start up again.
Yeah, we got me and all the Evo boys be training for Evo.
And we know we have some people that are interested in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, so they'll probably be looking for people to play with if you're interested in that. Yeah, so the Discord, our Discord is a great place to go. And then Yeah, we'll be around. We're going to be talking in the Discord throughout the week, and we'll be uploading segments of our podcast throughout the week, and then we'll be here next week for another live show updating you on video game news. So,
Yep. All right.
yeah.
Bye,
Anyway,
all. Love
enjoy
you.
your week, everyone. See ya.